How are you doing today, everybody? My name is Yeonju, and I am taking care of global project in JST. I am happy to give the presentation about Korean MSW treatment technology applied in Egyptian waste treatment plant. JST has been introducing its modern waste treatment technologies in Egypt since 2017. And there are now 4 plants using JST's modern waste treatment equipment and technologies in Egypt. This presentation will include the current MSW status in Egypt and some founded concerns and strategic goal of the Egyptian government and its plans. Then I will introduce new equipment lines in Egyptian waste treatment plant. Also, I have prepared a video clip to show you how JST's modern waste treatment equipment is deployed in the Sohag plant, for example. In this slide, we will overview the current status of MSW in Egypt and some concerns to discuss. Egypt has 100 million people, and the amount of MSW generated annually is about 26 million tons, and the efficiency of collection and transport is about 55%. The efficiency of treatment and recycling is about 20%, and the efficiency of the disposal in landfills and dump sites about 80%. It means most of generated waste in Egypt are ghost landfills to be treated. Only 20% of waste can be recycled and produce some valuable. And there are some negative concerns of the current MSW management system. First one is growing phenomenon of scavengers. Scavengers are those who taking valuable waste from the street illegally. And the accumulation of waste in the street. Even though there are some collection bins on the street, still there are many people throwing away their waste in the street and around the riverbanks. And this, as a result, increasing in the morbidity rate as a result of open burning for the waste. In agricultural area, there are still many farmers burning their waste in the field. And because of scavengers, there are a lot of loss of added value of waste. As a result, it decreased in the quality of output of the treatment process, the quantity of compost, and the RDF production amount. In Egypt, currently total annual generation of waste is about 25.4 million tons of MSW. And then its average collection efficiency is 55%. There are 27 governorates in Egypt. Some governorate waste collection rate is about 89%. Some governorate has waste collection rate under the around 1%, about 15%. There are so much variable in the rate. And those average collection efficiency is just about only 55%. Egyptian central government established specific strategic goals to raise its solid waste management efficiency, and those are focused on the building sanitary landfills, upgrading and modernizing treatment plants, and increasing transfer stations, and finding better practices in waste collection and transportation. Those strategic goals targeting starting from 2019 to 2021 because of coronavirus pandemic situation, still those strategic goals are on the way to be achieved. To raise the efficiency of collection and transportation from 55% up to 80%, and to raise rates of recycling from 20% up to 60%, and to reduce barrier rates for waste from 80% to 20%. And finally, thermal treatment to generate electricity from 0% to 20%. And there are some strategic plans for new MSW management system in Egypt. Egypt's central government has been implementing action plans to solve its MSW management concerns with the long-term plans. First one is to reduce uncollected waste and open burning. And second one is to increase sanitary landfill site. Currently, there is only one landfill site in Alexandria Governorate. All other landfill site, we can say open dumping site. If waste arrives over there, they unload the waste into the ground level and then they cover some soil. And to build new waste treatment plants, about 20 new plants in 5 years. The project we are doing in Sohag Plant and Minya Plant, those are the new plants for the waste treatment. And then also they have planned to replace old waste treatment lines into modern equipment lines, about 50 new lines in existing waste treatment plants. Such as like Mahala plant we are doing project is existing waste treatment plant. We are replacing old lines. And then to optimize composting productivity, and then to maximize RDF productivity. Now I'm going to introduce new equipment lines in Egyptian waste treatment plant. JSD established new RDF Production Line in Montaza Plant, Alexandria in 2020. And from 2021 till now, we are doing new MSW treatment lines in Sohag, Minya, and Mahala Plant. Those lines including sorting, composting, and RDF production lines. Throughput capacity of those plants are 20 tons per hour and 300 tons per day. They have 2 shift working hours, 16 hours, including 1 hour of transition. And main equipments of those plants are pre-shredder with back opening function and trommel screen, which has screen size of 80 mm, and magnetic separator to separate ferrous stuffs from the waste, and goes to the impact separator to separate some residual food waste and then dirt on the combustible solid waste. And then wind separator to separate the heavy gravity waste, and finally go to fine shredder to produce RDF. These are the new modern MSW treatment line facility layout in Sohag Plant. Pre-shredder goes to trommel screen to separate organic waste, and then goes to manual sorting lines, and then goes to magnetic separator to separate ferrous stuffs, and then goes to impact separator to separate any food waste or dirt attached on the combustible solid waste, and then goes to the wind separator to separate heavy gravity waste from the combustible solid waste, and finally goes to the fine shredder to cut those waste into 80 millimeters, and then those RDFs go to the RDF storage. These are the composting field. Magnetic separator to separate any residual ferrous stuffs in compost, and then goes to trommel screen. It has screen size of 15 millimeter, and then those sorted waste goes to the vibrating screen feeder, which has screen size of 10 millimeter. After all sorted compost, finally supplied to the farmers. These are the new waste treatment processing. First of all, I will explain sorting and composting line. As I told you, the waste coming into the plants, and then we have to pick up some big size of waste such as tires, big trees, or big stones like that, and then we load into pre-shredder with back opening function. This pre-shredder will cut those waste into 200 to 300 millimeters and then breaking the bags. Then goes to drum mills, which has screen size of 80 millimeter. Under the 80 millimeter of organic waste separated, move to the composting line, and then about 16 weeks of composting windrows, they go to the magnetic separator, and then goes to the fine drum mill. Screen size is 50 millimeter. After this, those compost goes to the vibrating screen feeder, which screen size is 10 millimeter, and then will be supplied to the farmers. And those sorted combustible solid waste come to the manual sorting line. About 6 people will manually pick up some valuables or some kind of foreign stuffs we cannot use for the RDF materials, and goes to the magnetic separator to separate some ferrous stuffs. And then those are we call reject. Reject means combustible solid waste. And I will explain about the RDF production lines. Those reject come to the impact separator. In this impact separator, we are using 104 hammer blades to striking those combustible solid waste to separate some food waste scraps or some dirt under those waste. And then those separated food waste or dirt can transfer to the composting line again. And those sorted waste come to the wind separator to separate some kind of heavy gravity waste. And then finally they goes to the fine shredder. After this fine shredder will go to the RDF storage. This fresh shredder with opening back functions will cut waste into 200 to 300 millimeters. Then goes to the chain conveyors connected to the drum mill screen. This drum mill has 80 millimeter of screen hole size to separate any organic waste under 80 millimeter. Okay, thank you for hearing my presentation. If you have any questions on this presentation, please contact me to my email address. I will reply you as soon as I receive your email. Thank you guys. Have a nice day.